Khabba, say hello.
Hello.
Like in every episode. How are you guys doing? You guys doing well? You can't answer. Fuck that. So, thank you for listening to our third episode, part 1 and part 2.
Part 2, both of them. We got pretty good feedback. A lot of people enjoyed having Rohan and Ashish on the zone.
Right, so come on, a lot of people have been complaining that we giggle a lot like little children.
I am not surprised at all.
Yes, that people will complain about that. So what we decided to do was, we decided that we will keep a count of the number of times that we giggle, correct? Mm-hmm. And as we've already announced that we'll be running a contest on this aspect. If you guess the number of times that we giggle correctly,
both of us combined,
of us combined, you will get a prize from mostly from Kamba.
Yes, you will well know. It will it'll be all India Bakchod special certified surprise
gifts.
Thanks to our sponsors, which have not been found yet. But no, there will actually be a surprise gift. You will have to send us correct entries.
Yes.
And we will.
What a surprise gift? Well, it's a surprise.
Yeah, and if you have a hot Twitter DP, you have a higher chance
of winning.
Basically.
That's right. So that's a very cool contest, Kamba. I think we are doing a very good job.
I think we are doing a service to the nation.
To the nation, yes. Very nicely done. So let's just move on to this week's episode, Kamba. This week we have a lot of stuff that we have to discuss of what all happened this week. And with us in the studio this week is Mr. Karan Talwar of Shits and Giggles fame. Hello.
Yeah. Good to be back, guys. You guys are seriously rocking it, man. Keep it up. Keep it going.
Well, now that we have our words of encouragement,
yes,
we will go on.
We will go on. So yes, Karan will be joining us this week. So let's just get to it. What was the big story of the week? Okay, so one of the stories that happened this week was very fucking hilarious story. Kamba, you mentioned it. What is the story?
There was this kid apparently in Karnataka, I forgot which district, who allegedly made a crank call to Pakistan Foreign Minister Hina Rabbani Khar for 15 minutes.
If someone called me and tried to dirty chat with me, after a point either I'd hang up, or the only reason why I would be on for 15 minutes is if I was kind of enjoying the thing, or if I participated a little bit.
I am just surprised that someone from Karnataka knows Hindi/Urdu. She was just happy to meet an educated dude because, she's from Pakistan. That's
wrong.
Because if anybody in Pakistan knows maths, they become a nuclear scientist. And
they make bombs. Just say
bombs. No, they don't make bombs. They go to China sends them bombs. And North Korea. And then they just repaint it. And then it becomes indigenous. I can keep going on like this.
So I'm just curious, is this against the law? Is he going to be tried in some court?
No, apparently the CID or some shit, because Karnataka has a CID. And those guys...
Karnataka CID is hilarious.
And
just South Indian CID is hilarious.
Sir, they are darwaza todo. Sir, darwaza nahi hai, hut mein hum. Because it's a fucking village.
South Indian CID is actually just like watching regular CID in low brightness. That's horrible. Oh God.
You guys don't find her hot?
I don't find her hot at all.
I don't think she's hot at all.
I think she's like freed up into Pakistan. Faltu mein attention, not really hot at all.
But
big bags.
You never thought like what she looked like behind all those robes?
She doesn't wear robes.
All those. What does she wear?
She wears regular clothes. You can see her face wherever she walks.
Yeah. She's Pakistan foreign minister. No? If she was home minister, then she'd be very different.
By the way, they don't call it home minister. They call it interior minister. Rehman Malik is an interior minister.
He's an interior minister. Fuck, that just gives me like, he just walks into Pakistan and go like, kore mein couch lagao, and like, just ye parda acha nahi hai, please parda hatao. No. What is this green parda y'all are using? It's the flag, you bastards. My biggest question is, what if Hina Rabbani actually ran an adult phone sex chat line? Bakchod of the week!
Hi, you've reached Hina's helpline. How can I help you?
Hello, Mr. Rabbani. You're from Pakistan, eh?
That's right, I am from Pakistan.
So can you blow me?
Hi, you've reached Hina's helpline. How can I help you?
Hello. I like it when women do dangerous things.
Alright, bad boy. I think, let me see. maybe next year I'll vote. And after that, I'll wear jeans.
Oh my god.
And after that, I'll show you my face.
Oh
Oh yes, you like that?
yeah.
And finally, I think I'll just disown Kashmir. Hello, you've reached Heena's helpline. How can I help you?
अरे वो शोएब को बोल थर्ड ओवर में थर्ड बॉल नो बॉल फेंके.
What, sir? Hello?
अरे थर्ड ओवर में थर्ड बॉल नो बॉल बोल फेंको.
Sir, आपने पाकिस्तान का नंबर तो डायल किया है, but I think you have the wrong extension. Number 5 is for match fixing.
एक मिनट ये शोएब मलिक नहीं.
नहीं, I'm not sure.
Oh, sorry. Are you ladies?
You've reached Heena's hotline. How can I help you?
Hi Hina.
Hi?
It's Parvez. Just tell Nawaz to back off now. Let me come back, please. Please, I beg of
Parvez,
you, Hina.
I told you
What
I
about
can't
all
help you,
those
Parvez.
nights at the UN Assembly bathroom?
Parvez,
I thought you were...
we'll never discuss that night, okay? I can't help you.
Don't worry, I paid Kofi off. He's not going to talk,
I
yaar.
can't
Come on,
help you.
Hina.
I'm sorry, Parvez.
Come on,
Please,
Hina.
don't bring
Hina,
back those
please.
memories, Parvez.
Hina, I miss the goats, Hina.
You've reached Heena's hotline. How can I help you?
Hello, hi. I like having sex when I'm high.
Alright.
Are you stoned?
No, and I'm not stoned, not yet, anyways.
चल कोई ना, कल तो स्टेडियम आ ही रही है. मैं ही तो पत्थर मारूंगा.
Bastard.
So you guys heard about this thing that I fucking hilarious shit, okay? At Carter Road, a dude just hugged the girl and pecked her on the cheek. So these fucking two partners were around and they came up to him and they were like, why you're doing this? This is obscene and shit. So they slapped him, put him in a van, took him to the police station. He had to pay $1,300 to get out.
Wait, these are friends or like boyfriend, girlfriend or something?
Does it matter?
So it doesn't matter. They could be enemies for all. He could be his fucking sass. It doesn't matter. He just fucking hugged her and pecked her on the cheek.
$1,300.
$1,300.
Which is not bad because if he eventually wants to fuck her, that's how much
That's
he'll
how much
spend
he'll
on a
spend,
dinner.
yeah.
Exactly.
So it's not a bad deal, I think.
But the beating, man, you can't add value to that. I mean, I wouldn't take a beating for a girl. Would you?
That awkward silence. Kamba's girlfriend's listening.
That's just a lot of...
Kamba's girlfriend?
My entire school, high school is coming back to me
This is
in
a
a
message.
flash.
This is a message for Kamba's girlfriend. If you guys get into a fight, run.
Let's get back to the conversation.
Yes,
Why can't we get back to the
let's
conversation?
do that, yeah. So dude got slapped for hugging a girl and pegging her.
I didn't know fucking Shah Rukh Khan was hanging around Carter Road.
Dressed up as a cop. He won't do that, dude. Salman usually does that. He'll never do that.
No, but what do you think? Like, this is actually a public indecency law or whatever, which is just so vague.
I think it would have been hilarious if I was the cop. I would fucking beat the shit out of him, took him to the fucking police station. Then he was like, "Sir, आप ये क्यों कर रहे हो?" It's like उसका बाप वैसे भी यही करने वाला था. So I'm just preparing you for what's to come.
But
What's the law here? Is a peck on the cheek something that's not? It's forbidden by law. Or is it something?
Does it matter? Have we ever in such a situation ever, if a cop has come to you and said something, and if there's a second's doubt in your head where you're like, this might not really be the case. Okay, I have paid over $1,000 for not carrying a license. I remember driving from Bandra to Andheri. On the way, cop stopped me and said, "Where's your license?" And that was the one day I wasn't carrying my license. So I said, "Fuck, I fucking forgot it at home." So he's like $1,000 and shit. He's like, "Paisa nikal and all." If I had only turned around and asked him, "Ki, how much is the actual fine?" The actual fine was $500. I ended up bribing the fucker $1,000 purely because I was just like, I don't want to fucking cross question a cop. Fuck it, let's just get done with it and move on.
the only difference between cops and hijras accosting you is that hijras can't put you in jail because they will also come and say, "Kya kar raha hai? Pension mein tere mummy ko bata दूं ye kar raha hai."
But no, I kind of feel for the cops though. They're seriously outnumbered. Like a cop in Bombay. Come on, he's got like what is the ratio? One guy to 300,000 people. Like what is he gonna do? What options does he have? I've seen a guy just fucking run away from a cop. Like
What do you mean? What option do you have?
I mean, can you imagine a nice cop in the city like requesting you?
One sec, no matter how fucked up whatever, dude, I get the whole, that's traffic cops you're talking about. Traffic cops are the worst treated people ever. But the other cops, dude, on some level, I can understand the whole sari shit, but they fucking have perks that nobody else does. What pisses me off is when they do shit like this, where this is just unnecessary. It's just unnecessary.
What
I don't know. I won't put it as unnecessary. I would just think it's just a cultural conflict. It's just a lot of, you just have to realize that the kind of people, like, you know, this is sort of like when you have like poor kids who come inside malls and are just staring at fucking iPads outside an Apple store. I really think that's what happens sometimes to cops, especially when they come from like these really small towns. And this is the first, you know, instance of, they're like, holy shit, that shirt doesn't have sleeves.
Yeah.
You know, and
that chick is wearing it.
And he has lips who are caressing her thighs, whatever.
Which is just typical.
I'm just thinking about I'm just thinking about
Bombay में कोई tourist है कि cop आए, first thing they'll do is go to fucking Carter Road. That's what Kambai said. She mentioned.
No.
I mean, see, what you're saying basically is that they're frustrated.
No, I'm not saying, no, just because you're from a different cultural context doesn't mean you're frustrated. It just means that you are not averse to what is going on. And if I am from a really small town who hasn't seen sort of like big ass city life or whatever, and I am put in
until you moved.
Yes, which exactly. Fuck off, Ludhiana has like the highest number of mercs in the country per capita and shit like that. They have bigger cars than they have roads.
But they still drive like choots.
Still fucking look.
You can't drive because there is no road left to drive on. It's exactly
yeah,
like
but
Bombay
you
now.
also have Mika, so shut up.
Mika is, by the way, from Vikaspuri. He drives around a Pajero. I have seen him run over people. I haven't, but... By the way, apparently there was this rumor going around that the Leer Mehendi's son was apparently in my high school and then apparently he beat some people up and then he got kicked out. I don't know this, but I have been told stories. And apparently one time, he was the only dude in Delhi who had this like yellow Beetle, the new fancy one, Volkswagen Beetle.
This one.
The Leer Mehendi. This is way back in like 99 and stuff like that. So, and he was obviously a star back then.
Trust Leer Mehendi to get a car that's shaped like his turban.
Made by Nazis. But no, the point is that it's not about frustration. It's just that when you are put in a context which you're not familiar with, a part of you is on some level revolted, offended. It's similar to when, I'll tell you what it's like. It's similar to when Indians go to Scandinavian countries or like European universities and experiences a public shower. It's exactly like that. It's just like, I'm not supposed to see these penises around me. Should I bend over? What is
but
the
that
etiquette?
doesn't mean I go and fucking slap people and say 1200 rupees nikal. मैंने तेरा लोड़ा देखा 1200 रुपए
No,
निकाल.
that is because because we can't. That if I would, I could, because that might be the only way I'd survive in Europe. But whatever, I'm not a cop there.
One sec, if I got $1,200 for every dick I saw, I don't know, I might take that deal up. I don't know. It's
just in the number of dicks we've seen in porn only. It's have you noticed when we're watching porn, we just conveniently
just
filter
ignore.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Yeah.
It's the same thing. So I don't think we can pin it down to frustration.
Well, yeah, maybe what you're saying, that comes down to the difference between haves and have-nots. The cops come from...
A little bit, yeah, why not? Maybe they were so busy checking out white women being kissed on 26/11 that they forgot to shoot.
But
one sec. I actually don't quite completely agree with what you're saying. Okay, your instance is very specific to a cop who came to Mumbai, happened to be on Carter Road, and I can understand if they react like this for the first time they came here. But these are fucking cops who've been on Carter Road. What do you expect on Carter Road? This is just essentially me walking down Carter Road. If I was a cop, as Tuesday, I feel like I'm in the mood to just fucking be mean to someone and just fucking grab not the only guy, possibly one of 100 dudes on Carter Road hugging and pecking a chick at that very second. He just happened to find this guy and just fucking find him. I'm sorry, but if I'm a cop, I know this shit is going to go down on Carter Road. Why the fuck will I just randomly pick? Okay, I just feel like fucking being an asshole to this dude. I'm just going to charge him $1,300. I
don't know, maybe he was wearing a Being Human t-shirt. I don't know. You're walking down somewhere and you just look at some people and you're like, I want to fuck with this person.
Just channeling his hate and making money on
Basically that the fact that he can make money off it.
This actually works in the same way now. We have 5,000 rupees in Bombay. That's the fine for if you're caught talking on the cell phone while driving. $5,000. That's saying something. Who are the people driving the cars? People with money. Right?
People with money, but not... I mean, I drive a car, man. I'm not fucking rich. But my point is, like, what do you do? Like, if you have a fucking Nokia... Okay, if you have one of those phones that actually cost $4,000, you just be like, "Acha, le lo phone, meko nahi dena hai 5,000." Just, acha, you're talking on the phone. 1 sec, I'll call you from another phone. 1 sec. Just fucking throw the phone outside the window and just dart for it.
Yeah, but the people who are going to pay these fines are the people who actually kind of. I mean, you say you're poor, but trust me, 5,000 doesn't affect you like 5,000 for an auto rickshaw wala.
Yeah, no, the thing is, I'm not, I still haven't made up my mind about it. I honestly think that increasing the amount of money as a fine, I do not think is a deterrent. I honestly don't think that is a deterrent for a lot of people who drive a car in Bombay, because for a lot of people, that's just a night out at a fancy pub.
No, it's a deterrent. It's not about the giving the money. Okay, because I'll be honest, I have never faced a situation where I haven't been able to bribe a Havaldar. Okay, more often than not, I bribe a fucking Havaldar. It's just that now if I get caught, there is very little I can do to say ki Baba, this is not a big deal, just take 20 bucks and let me go. Because now if he catches me, the Havaldar will say, 5,000 rupiah ye hai. Why the fuck will I take 100 bucks and let you go?
So
I can take out 1,000 bucks.
So are you saying the fuck all thing about the scheme is that it will actually increase?
It will increase the bribe for sure. It'll just be, and the whole process will. I don't want to. One of the best things about a bribe, I can't believe I'm saying this, horrible thing to say, but one of the best things about a bribe is the convenience and the quickness of it, and especially in a traffic situation.
Dude, that's how it works.
It's so quick. I don't waste a single minute. What I hate is when I'm made to get out of my car and just fucking go and talk to the bastard for half an hour. That's what I hate.
I honestly think that the sole purpose of giving of bribing somebody, especially a cop, and doing it often enough is so that when you get married and you have to go to someone's wedding, you can smoothly slide 100 rupee note down to the chicken tikka dude without making it very obvious. It's just one of those life skills that you learn through a bribe.
Through a bribe, yeah.
No, but here's the fuck all thing. The fuck all thing is that you're saying that obviously it will increase the bribe, but it's awesome how... See, isn't that the entire point? That the fact that you can plug in an auxiliary cable isn't the point. The point is that they say, stop fucking talking because it's distracting you from driving, right?
It's a that's like I was saying, it's a deterrent. It's a definite deterrent.
So that should happen anyway.
It should happen
a commonsensical thing.
I agree.
So if it is a commonsensical thing, why are people worried about having to pay the fine? If you know that
this
it is
wrong.
Already a rule and it's already wrong, then why make a big deal? It's not one of those things where they can accidentally pull you down. Like there is a lot of incidents where they will accidentally, not accidentally, but on purpose, they will exploit a loophole. But using a cell phone isn't really much of an exploitable loophole. It's a very visible thing. Yeah. And a lot of people, for example, if you're on the right-hand side, they will not stop you because you have to just continue driving. Otherwise, there'll be a massive pile up in the back.
But there have been times when, has this happened to you? There have been times where I've been caught for no fucking fault of my own.
Oh yeah. And you know what? I've been caught and I questioned the guy. I was like, I haven't done anything. Why have you stopped me? He showed me the rule book. He's like, and it is written in the law. I was shocked. A traffic cop or regular cop can stop you just because. And they can check your PUC, they can check your license and,
they can
and your insurance.
It's awesome how they just randomly stop you in the middle of the road and cause a car crash in the back. That's fucking mind-blowing.
And sometimes they have these Dhaka bandis, they just leave. And just leave the things on the road. Those little stop signs, just leave them on the road for like all night long. Have you guys seen this?
Yeah.
The shit's just there blocking the traffic.
I noticed this in front of like close to Amitabh Bachchan's house once, and I thought maybe it's one of those tourist things. Please slow down. This is one of our icons. Please look left.
You should put a sign there.
Yeah, you know how those politicians have those big ass signs put outside the road that "Mera ghar yahan hai," as if fucking everybody is in the area only to go to your house. Like Rajiv Shukla has this around. Juhu, I think, wherever. I don't know where.
Shukla, the BCCI guy?
Yeah, the one who always wears ill-fitted
suits. He has. I've seen these.
That guy doesn't have a neck. Have you noticed?
It's probably his suit is so big you can't fucking do so. Anyways.
Right, so what we did was we went on to the FAQs website of the Mumbai Traffic Police. If you are listening to this at home and if you can, please log on to trafficpolicemumbai.org/FAQs right now and check this out. Just quickly Google it, you'll find the page. So we are on the page and here's come to question number 3. What documents should a driver carry when driving? Driving license, registration certificate, taxation certificate, PUC certificate, insurance certificate, and fitness certificate
and permit.
Fitness certificate. What? I didn't fucking know this. Do you know how many times I've broken the law then?
Tanmay, every time you get caught, do you show them your Twitter feed? Look, Bencho, 44, 43, 42, 41, motherfucker.
So technically you've broken the law every time.
Every time I've driven.
It's awesome. What kind of fitness certificate? Sir, Tata Nano chala raha hu, aaj aag nahi lagi. Sir, fit hai, sir, fit hai.
Next question. What is the rule for tinted glass?
That if you wear tinted glasses, you're an asshole. Or a struggling Bollywood actor.
Or or jot. The glass of windscreen and rear window of every motor vehicle shall be maintained in such a way that visual transmission of light not less than 70% and side windows shall be maintained in such a way. I didn't know Sheldon Cooper was a fucking hawaldar, dude. I had no fucking idea.
Basically वो कह रहे हैं भैंचोद गाड़ी के अंदर चोद रहा है हमें भी देखने दो.
What are the duties of a driver when his vehicle is involved in an accident resulting in death, bodily injury, damage to property? The duties of the driver are as under. Arrange for medical help. Inform the police. In case the vehicle is carrying dangerous goods, keep everyone away. Avoid smoking in the vicinity. And take emergency action as displayed on the vehicle.
So okay, so let's go. Let's make this list again. A. Call your father. B. Bitch slap the other person for damaging your car. C. Tell him how many followers you have on Twitter and how you'll fuck his happiness. D. Call your lawyer. 5. Call your Jat friends and tell him to bring his bandas and friends. 6. Continue to beat the shit out of him. 7. Look around and say, Bhenchod kya free mein tamasha dekh rahe ho, chal aage badho. And 8. Call the towing agency to take your car away. This is basically
it. What is the punishment for drunken driving? Driving under the influence of any drug?
Death.
The cops will beat you up.
First offense, imprisonment up to 6 months or fine up to... The first point should be, if you are driving and the first punishment will be cop will get really close to your face.
Make out with you.
Then should be imprisonment. So you just, the number one point is reason enough to not get drunk.
So basically getting drunk and driving will get you more time in jail than Suresh Kalmadi.
Yeah.
For fucking over the entire country.
Yeah, country, yeah.
And up to rupees 2,000.
Sounds fair.
Or as Suresh Kalmadi calls it, can I keep my mobile phone switch on while driving? If you're alone in the car, you shall switch off your mobile phone while driving any motor vehicle. Fuck, can I breathe when I'm fucking driving? I can't even keep my phone on.
Can't keep your phone on, yeah? Come on, if somebody calls you and you have a fuck all ringtone, then you'll want to kill yourself. You get distracted.
What the fuck? Fucking if I keep my phone off while I'm driving, I'll just be unreachable in life.
Yeah.
Because I have to go from Andheri to Bandra to work. It takes me an hour just there.
What do you do at red lights, man? What's
Yeah.
red light? I'll get so bored.
When will I tweet?
Exactly.
When will you call people? Actually, for Bombay, everybody is just stuck in traffic 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
Dude, the most
Maybe this is a scheme by the Maharashtra government to just give everybody alone time. You know, quality time alone. Spend
Reflect
time with
about-
yourself. Reflect on your day.
I thought
reflect on
that's
the
what the
fuck all.
Sulabh Shauchalayas were for. That's what building
Bombay
the-
has Sulabh Shauchalayas.
Yeah.
I have not seen a single one.
You've never been to
I've
Sulabh
met
Shauchalaya?
them.
Dude, one sec.
Nowhere in Bombay.
It's beautiful. I remember I've been to a Sulabh Shauchalaya twice. One was this year. One was 4 years ago. 4 years ago I went. The price to shit is $3.
Okay.
The price to pee is $2.
Okay.
Now its price to shit is $5. Price to pee is $3. It's increased.
Yeah,
Inflation,
because
inflation.
it's because people are eating so much junk food now.
No,
that
yeah.
shit is getting tougher to
Tougher
clean.
to clean, yeah.
They're like, "Bhencho, they call
Yo,
McVeggie,
fuck.
fuck McVeggie." Fucking.
I've seen a guy peeing on the wall outside of Sulabh Shauchalaya.
That is the biggest.
That's
Fuck you.
for 50 paise, that's all you'll get. Okay, that's all you'll get for 50 paise.
This is how sad it's become. That the only way you can stop people from peeing on the street is by shoving a god's face on that wall.
Yeah.
I think people will still pee on it.
And people still pee on it. They're like, "Well, this is not the one I follow."
Fuck it.
Exactly. I'm
Fuck it,
solving it.
let's fuck it.
After receiving call or SMS on mobile phone, can I park my vehicle and use mobile phone? No.
Love the answer.
No. As per rule above, mobile phone should be switched off more by driver. So one sec.
So how do you even know that you got an SMS? You don't know that you got an SMS. You don't know you got a call.
Basically-
how would you know?
No, this is interesting. What they're saying is it's illegal to stop the car and answer the phone.
Fuck off. What are you saying? And all this while
But you're in traffic. It's already stopped. It's already on the left somewhere.
Fuck, what are you saying? So all this while, I've been congratulating myself for being a good citizen by stopping on the left and talking. I've been doing the wrong thing the whole time.
Yeah, you can still be booked and still be charged and like given 500.
Fuck off, I can't even stop and talk. This next question is hilarious. If I don't have money to pay fine, what is the procedure? कि भैया मैं तो नंगा हूँ वैसे भी, आप मुझे कितना नंगा करोगे? We will not pay fine as per MV Act 1988. Once again, just reminding everyone, this is a frequently asked question. It's a question that everyone has raised from time to time.
Everybody says this. यार पैसे नहीं है. पैसे नहीं है.
It's so innocently. If I don't have money to pay fine, what is the procedure? Last question. If I'm a doctor, can I use my mobile phone in emergency while driving? No. Exemption is not given to anyone in the MV Act, even if you're a doctor. Okay, the next bit is hilarious. Okay, FAQs about helmets. Question: why must I wear a helmet? Frequently asked question. When man was created, this is actual reply on the website. When man was created, he was equipped with a skull to protect his brain. The original protection measure set up was effective in that soft environment, which was man's normal habitat. Fuck, they've gone like pro-magnon man on my ass.
Dude, they went back 10,000 years. They went back 10,000 years to explain why we need a helmet today.
You did stand up on this?
Yeah.
Oh,
I did a whole shit on this, man.
Fuck. So. As man evolved, he was started by taming the horse. This is the script from Awesome, right? Script from Awesome. He began searching for faster modes of travel. He first developed the steam engine, followed by the internal combustion engine, and then the turbine. Man, while he has succeeded in propelling himself at speeds... Oh fuck, my phone went off, sorry.
At speeds that would have
scared his ancestors. No. Wait. By the way, his ancestors are Krishna, Duryodhan and shit, who had 10 horses on their fucking chariot. He's not going to get scared by a motorcycle. He's like, fuck that.
Scared his ancestors has also changed his surroundings to hard, unyielding surfaces, both horizontal and vertical.
Just dicks around the guy.
Unfortunately, he has not been able to transform himself to the protective needs of his new lifestyle and environment. The helmet is therefore necessary and just a link in the long chain of safety equipment and countermeasures man has to use in his presence. Basically what happened as this FAQs was going on, it's halfway through they said ki fuck it, let's get the guy who says who's main samay hu, that guy to fucking reply to all these things. So essentially every question, why must I wear a condom, is essentially that.
Every question is an existential question.
No, this is that essentially when the first time you had the sex talk with your dad, like dad, where do babies come from? See, when man was created, he was equipped with a skull to protect his brain. The original protection measure set up was a lully. What the fuck?
I think this. I just think this entire thing is just been copy pasted from some fuck all Chinese manufacturer, helmet manufacturer. You know those Chinese and Japanese websites who sell wholesale shit, but they can make anything, but they can't find one dude in all of China to translate it into decent English. So it just sounds fuck all. And this is exactly that. They just fucking shoved this on this.
That is why Donkey Kong is actually a gorilla. Have you guys heard this? Donkey Kong is a fucking gorilla.
That's hilarious. It's true. Donkey Kong is a fucking gorilla. What the fuck? Next question. Again, reminding you guys, it's a frequently asked question. How does a helmet work? Who are these people who have still not figured this out?
Next question. What comprises a good helmet? Tin foil, motherfucker.
One sec. It says thermocol is considered to be the best energy absorbing liner available and it must be present in the helmet.
Yeah, it's inside the inner layers, thermocol.
My brain is being protected by a shit I can buy in the stationery for $10.
Yeah.
That's how important it
My
is.
brain is being protected by the thing that I usually throw away as soon as I buy a new keyboard.
Keyboard or any other gadget. What is the next question?
Next question. Do helmets cause balding? It's a frequently asked question.
You guys are laughing. I want to know the answer.
Okay.
Just
Not at all. This aspect of helmets was studied in the UK in 1981. How Vela are people? By a leading authority on baldness, Dr. Batra, and a consultant dermatologist, Dr. Arthur Rook. It was found that the wearing of helmets does not promote balding. try on the helmet before a mirror. You will see how the helmet suits your personality.
Okay, did you guys hear about this? In China, KFC is now offering handsome delivery boys.
Like when you order a chicken,
Yeah, like a really cool,
you
hot
can
looking,
call for a handsome delivery boy to like deliver that chicken for you.
just a nice cock delivering your rooster.
Wait. It's amazing. How did they come up with this idea? Where's this market? Like, are so many women ordering it, or is it the men?
How do you make out the difference?
That's my first question.
Question
if there's
is-
if one dude came and one Chinese dude came and delivered a pizza,
I wouldn't know.
then I wouldn't know if the next dude who came was the same dude or no. I would fucking know.
The dude who doesn't smell of fish sauce, probably.
Are you trying to
Probably
say
the
all
bell-
Chinese people look the same?
That's what I'm trying to
Because
say.
they do.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do. I completely agree.
All the Chinese people listening.
What would?
No, that's
No. That's just.
We just do.
What would Indian restaurants be without people from the northeast?
what? Yeah, exactly.
They're not Eastern. They're not Chinese. This is a whole different culture.
Arunachal.
Same thing.
Yes, finger licking good.
You know how when KFC came to Punjab and people were like, dude, it's not going to compete with tandoori chicken, which is true. Like,
Of course not.
of course. But like, when you can eat a cockroach, why would you order chicken?
It's very bad.
It's
It's wrong.
It's
Racist and horrible.
Horrible.
Just have you ever had a fried cockroach? Was it
What?
any good?
No, I've had the worst thing I've had is turtle jelly.
Fuck, how's that? Yeah.
Turtle jelly actually does not it tastes like regular jelly.
Which one did you have? Raphael or Donatello?
I just remember this really funny incident in KFC Delhi where there was a foreigner in front of me and he said, okay, I'll have like two like French fries, whatever, rice and fucking curry and 2 chicken breasts. Now the funny thing is that the dude behind the counter, I don't know if you've encountered this, in the Indian KFCs, they will not say chicken breast, he will say chicken chest. So this white guy in front of me is like, I would like to have this, and 2 chicken breasts. And dude behind the counter, yes, so that's one this, there's 2 chicken chests. No. I said breast. Yes. Chest. And this awkward moment is playing out in front of me. I was like, wow, this will only happen here. It's so fucking bizarre.
Because dude was going to say, what else will he say? Like, 2 chicken blouse. Not breast, blouse.
Chicken mummy.
Stun. 2 chicken stun.
Chicken breast with extra cleavage.
Another disgusting thing, and I don't know if I should be offended or not, is that if you go to a KFC and they have Sodis working at KFC behind the counter, now the Sodi is the only dude who has to wear this really transparent net type thing on his beard,
yeah.
right? So I know that it's for hygiene, that accidental hair doesn't fall in, but at the same time I feel offended that why is my race being singled out to wear that Salman Khan net t-shirt on their fucking face. It's very pissing off.
I'm never going to KFC again.
Yeah, I'm never going to KFC again.
So there goes another sponsor. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Finger looking good, guys.
Yes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that was this week's episode of All India Bakchod. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yes,
I
hope you guys enjoyed it as well.
And thank you very much, Mr. Karan Talwar, for joining us. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. It was fun. Awesome.
Lovely British applause for you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who the fuck is that? Now, so yes, before we go quickly, let's plug our shows. Kamba, when are you on?
I'm on at the Comedy Store on the 18th of March. You guys can check me out there. I'm doing a 10-minute spot.
Super. And Karan?
Just a couple of Shits and Giggles gigs on 7th and 21st at the Bistro Grill, and I'm on Local Heroes at the Comedy Store on the 28th.
of March, that's right. And big news, we are coming to Chennai, like we said last episode. Me, Kamba, Rohan and Ashish are performing in Chennai on the 23rd and 24th.
And the 24th, yes.
24th of March. We'll announce details very, very soon. And of course, one more very big event.
And the final biggest show that's also coming up, a Bollywood related show for all of you Bollywood buffs.
Oh, what a surprise. All India Bakchod doing Bollywood.
again,
yes.
my god. But no, me, Karan, Nalti, Mittal, Varun Thakur, all of us will be, and Varun Grover, of course, will be bringing to you the Ghanta Awards. This is the 2nd annual Ghanta Awards, which is going to happen where we celebrate the worst of Bollywood. 13 categories, a lot of sketches, a lot of fun. On the 17th of March, that's a Saturday at 6 p.m. at the Comedy Store. Tickets are already on sale. All you guys should make it. There'll be a lot of big Bollywood celebs. You can spit on their face if you want to.
Nice.
Not really.
Right, Seth. So thank you guys for listening. See you guys next time. Say bye, bye, bye,
Bye.
bye. Bye. Cue music.